Spin-off chapter, The Preacher with a Past, When Hypocrisy Dresses Up as Morality. Florida man had entered his most laughable arc yet, the self-proclaimed moral savior. Suddenly he was against child abuse, against DV, against SA. He made videos condemning every form of harm, stood tall on his TikTok pulpit, and spoke with fire and fury about accountability. But not his accountability. No, that was still off limits. Because buried beneath the rehearsed outrage was a very real criminal record, one involving elder abuse. He didn't just scream about morality, he tried to wear it like a costume to hide from the receipts. Mr. Sherman's story, the truth beneath the robes. The truth was this. Florida man had been arrested for elder abuse. The case wasn't dismissed because he was innocent. It was dismissed because, less than 2 weeks after the incident, he disconnected his phone and wiped his entire social media presence. He took the man's electronics, siphoned the business account dry, and vanished, playing TikTok hide-and-seek with law enforcement like it was a trending challenge. The man in question? Mr. Sherman. After what Florida man had done, Mr. Sherman was left facing financial ruin, cut off from his business, his accounts, and now facing eviction. He was later found deceased in his apartment, the eviction notice still taped to the door. Whether it was the stress on his failing health or something darker, we may never fully know. But one thing's certain, Florida men left behind destruction. Child abuse, bad, but elder abuse is... what, okay. Here's the thing. Florida man loudly condemned child abuse, and he should. But why does he act like elder abuse is somehow a lesser evil? Children are innocent, yes. But so are the elderly. They're vulnerable, easily manipulated. And based on multiple whispers, Mr. Sherman wasn't the only older adult Florida man allegedly took advantage of. I haven't spoken much about those other cases because I deal in receipts, but when multiple people come forward with eerily similar stories Florida man himself has allegedly bragged about, it's hard not to believe there's truth behind the smoke. When hypocrisy gets loud, this is the same man who called out others for supporting questionable behavior, who condemned people like Retina over an opinion about an SA situation, even though Retina wasn't an SA victim, just someone voicing her view. Did her comment sting? Yes. Did it upset many of us who have been victims? Absolutely. But here's the catch. The same group of women that sat with him got outraged over Retina making a comment, while refusing to hear the circumstances that led to her questioning the alleged SA. They said there was no excuse, and that Retina, and comments like hers, were the reason some women don't come forward. But as a victim myself, I do not agree with that. I'll admit, hearing what she said at first jarred me. It hurt. At the same time, those of us who have been victims don't view these situations as questionable. But before we were victims, can we honestly say we never heard a messy breakup story and thought, they're blowing that out of proportion? We've all questioned things before. What's infuriating is this. The same group of women who were outraged at Retina for questioning an alleged victim turned around and asked, why do those women have protection orders against Florida man? What did they do to provoke him? Are you freaking serious? How do you claim to be DV advocates and then blame the women who got protection orders for protecting themselves? You can't have it both ways. Either we believe victims or we don't. And clearly, your belief is conditional. Let's talk about those protection orders. Florida men claim the orders weren't valid, but I posted proof that they are. His excuse? I wasn't served. Well, based on personal conversations I've had with police departments and court clerks in multiple states, yes, they're still valid. He said, if one more thing comes across the judge's desk, it'll be dismissed. Except, he didn't even show up to court. He didn't present a single piece of evidence to counter the claims made against him. So again, if you're so sure, Florida man, I challenge you, go in person to the Knox County Courthouse, on live, with the case numbers in hand. Let us hear the clerk tell you they're dismissed. And I don't mean some AI voice. I want a real person, name, title, date and time, on record. You won't do it, because you know the truth. The orders are valid, you were wrong. And if you walk into that courthouse, you'll be served again. Final thought. You preach about morality, about abuse, about accountability, but what about your abuse, You cry over child abuse while laughing about elder abuse. You condemn DV while harassing women live? You say we must believe victims unless the victim is yours? You're not a crusader. You're not a hero. You're a fraud in cosplay, dressed like justice, acting like a martyr, and preaching from the same pulpit you use to harass women. And no amount of smoke, mirrors, or green screen sermons will change that.